Your heart is screaming in the silence, isn't it? That deafening quiet where their presence used to be, where the texts have stopped and the space they left behind feels like a cavern in your soul. You're staring at your phone, your finger hovering over the block button, thinking that if you just cut them off, you'll take back your power. You'll stop the pain. You'll finally show them what it feels like to be shut out. But I need you to hear me right now. From a place of raw truth and unwavering certainty, blocking the avoidant is the single greatest mistake you can make. It is a reaction born from pain, and it will only confirm every single fear that lives in the heart of someone who runs from connection. That primal fear of being trapped, of being controlled, of losing their very sense of self. When you block them, you are not saying, "I am strong." You are screaming, "You were right to run, because my love is a prison." So you must do the one thing that feels absolutely impossible, the one thing that goes against every fiber of your being that is begging for closure. You must stop chasing. You must stop pleading. You must stop trying to fill the silence with your pain. And you must step into the most powerful, magnetic, and transformative state of being imaginable. You must step into a state of unshakable wholeness, because an avoidant person is not running from you. They are running from the intensity of their own unmet childhood needs, the echo of a wound that taught them that to need someone is to be destroyed. They are terrified of the very dependency that intimacy requires, and your pursuit, no matter how loving, feels like a threat to their survival. So the game must change, and it begins not with an action you take toward them, but with a profound revolution you ignite within yourself. This is not a manipulative tactic. This is the sacred path to your own liberation. A path that, paradoxically, creates the only condition under which they can ever truly find their way back to you. When you become a lighthouse, solid, unwavering, shining your light regardless of the stormy seas, the lost ships cannot help but be drawn to your shore. They will come back not because you begged, but because they finally see a safe harbor, a person who does not need them to be complete, but who chooses them to share in their abundance. Here are the 5 pillars of this transformation. The 5 things you must do to shift this dynamic forever. The pain you are feeling is a real, physical, all-consuming force. It's a storm of anxiety, doubt, and fear that clouds your judgment, hijacks your nervous system, and compels you to act in ways that are completely contrary to your deepest desires. You feel like you're drowning, and your instinct is to flail, to grasp, to reach out for anything that feels like a lifeline, even if that lifeline is the very person who pulled away. This frantic energy is palpable. It transmits through your words, your texts, your social media, the very frequency you emit into the world. An avoidant person is a human emotional radar for this kind of intensity. They are hypervigilant to neediness and pressure because it signals enmeshment, a loss of self, a threat to their autonomy. Your anxiety is like a fire alarm blaring in their soul, and their only programming is to run from the sound. So the first and most critical work you must do is not on the relationship, but on the storm inside of you. You must become the eye of the hurricane, that profound, still, powerful center where everything is calm, clear, and in command, even while winds of emotion may be swirling around you. This begins with a radical takeover of your own physiology. You cannot think your way out of an anxious state. You must physiologically break the pattern. When you feel that surge of panic, that ache to text them, that desperation to check their social media, I want you to stop everything. Stand up, change your posture, put your shoulders back, lift your chin. Take a deep, powerful breath into your belly and hold it for 5 seconds. Now, release it with force, longer than your inhale. Do this 3 times. You are literally changing the chemistry of your body, shifting from a state of fight or flight to a state of alert control. Now move your body, go for a sprint, do 20 push-ups, put on music and dance with every ounce of energy you have. You are transmuting that anxious, leaking energy into physical power. You are telling your body, I am safe, I am in control, I am alive. This is not a one-time fix. This is a daily practice of anchoring yourself back into your own physical vessel. The next layer is the battlefield of your mind. Your mind is currently a prison of what-ifs and horror stories you are writing and directing. What if they never come back? What if they're with someone else? What did I do wrong? You are the one narrating this tragedy, and you have the power to change the script. This requires ruthless awareness. Catch the thought. I am afraid they are gone forever. Now, challenge it. Is that an absolute truth Or is it a fear? What is the evidence? And then replace it with a question that empowers you. Regardless of what they do, what is one thing I can do right now to feel strong, to feel valuable, to feel at peace? You are moving from being a victim of your thoughts to being the master of your focus. You must also create a pattern interrupt for your emotional spirals. This could be a cold shower, a jolt to the system that screams, I am here in this moment. It could be a meditation practice, even for 5 minutes, where you simply observe your breath and let the thoughts pass like clouds. It could be immersing yourself in a project that requires your full cognitive attention. You are building the muscle of presence. The ultimate goal here is to achieve what can be called an unshakable core. This is the deep internal knowing that no matter what happens externally, you have the resources within you to handle it, to learn from it, and to thrive again. Your happiness, your worth, your sense of peace cannot be held hostage by another person's behavior. When you operate from this core, your energy shifts dramatically. You stop emitting signals of desperation and begin emitting a frequency of wholeness and self-containment. This is not a wall, it is a magnetic field. An avoidant person, often subconsciously, is testing to see if you are a well that will drain them, or a fountain that will nourish them. When they sense, and they will sense it, that you are no longer a source of chaotic demand, but a source of calm, stable energy, the very thing that triggered their flight response begins to dissolve. They no longer feel the pressure to fix you or soothe you, because you are already soothed. They no longer feel the fear of being consumed, because you are already full. Your inner state becomes the single most powerful communication you can send, a silent message that says, I am not a threat to your freedom. I am a whole person, and I am safe. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without this inner mastery, every other action you take will be laced with the energy of neediness, and it will push them further away. With it, you become a gravitational force of peace and stability that over time becomes irresistible to a soul that has known only chaos and fear. When someone pulls away, your world shrinks. Your focus narrows until it contains only one thing, them. Their absence becomes a black hole that sucks in all your energy, your hobbies, your friendships, and your passions. Your life, which was once a vibrant, multifaceted tapestry, becomes a single, desperate question mark waiting for them to fill in the blank. This is the opposite of attractive. It is repellent, especially to an avoidant who fears enmeshment. They don't want to be your entire world because that is a terrifying amount of responsibility. They want to be an exciting, beautiful addition to an already fantastic world. So, the second pillar is to violently and joyfully reclaim your life. You must build a reality so compelling, so full of joy, purpose, and connection, that the question is no longer will they come back, but is this person remarkable enough to deserve a place in the incredible life I am building? This shifts the entire power dynamic from one of lack to one of abundance. This is an active, deliberate process of reconstruction. Start with your physical environment. Clean your home. Rearrange the furniture. Get rid of the clutter that represents the past. Create a space that feels like a sanctuary for the person you are becoming. This is an external reflection of your internal shift. Next, you must reconnect with your passions, the things you loved to do before the relationship, the dreams you put on hold. Did you used to paint? Get the canvases out. Did you love hiking? Find the most challenging trail near you and conquer it this weekend. Were you learning a language? Book a lesson right now. This is not about posting it on social media for them to see. This is about you feeling the aliveness and joy that comes from pursuing what lights you up. That energy is magnetic. It makes you interesting. It gives you stories to tell and a light in your eyes that cannot be faked. Furthermore, you must aggressively reinvest in your social circle. Call the friends you've neglected. Plan a trip. Go to a networking event. Force yourself to be around people who see the best in you and reflect your value back to you. Laughter with friends is a powerful antidote to the poison of loneliness and obsession. Every new connection, every shared experience, reinforces the truth that your worth and your joy are not monopolized by one person. As you do this, you are fundamentally changing the cost of being with you. When you have nothing going on, being with you costs them their freedom and independence. It's a net loss. But when your life is a festival of growth, achievement, and fun, being with you becomes a privilege. It becomes an opportunity for them to experience more joy, more adventure, more peace. You are no longer asking them to fill a void. You are inviting them to share in your abundance. This state of abundance is what neutralizes the avoidance core fear. They are no longer being asked to be a rescuer, but an invited guest to a party that will continue with or without them. This removes the pressure, the obligation, and the guilt. It allows them to look at your life from a distance and see what they are missing. They see your strength, your independence, your joy, and they start to think, wow, they are doing amazing. I wonder what it would be like to be a part of that again. You are not chasing them. You are creating a reality so attractive that they cannot resist the pull to come and investigate the source of that light. You become a prize to be won, not a problem to be solved. In the silence, every impulse you have is to use words to fix things, to explain, to promise, to plead. But you must understand that with an avoidant, words during a pullback are often heard as noise, as pressure, as manipulation. Their nervous system is in a state of defensive shutdown, and language is processed as an attack. So you must become a master of a more profound, more ancient language, the language of energy and action. This is the communication of a person who knows their own value and will not bargain for crumbs of attention. The most powerful message you can send is one of respectful, dignified silence. Not the cold, punishing silence of blocking, but the warm, full silence of a person who is busy living a magnificent life. This silence is not empty. It is loud with meaning. It says, I respect your space so completely that I will not violate it with my neediness. I am so secure in my own worth that I do not require your validation to feel whole. This is a message that an avoidant person can feel in their bones, and it is utterly disarming. Let's break down what this looks like in practice. First, you must stop all initiating contact. No checking in texts. No, I saw this and thought of you messages. No questions. This is the hardest part, but it is non-negotiable. Every time you initiate, you are devaluing yourself and feeding their avoidance. You are telling them that you are waiting, that you are available at their convenience. Instead, you must become a mirror. If they reach out with a low-effort breadcrumb text like, hey, you mirror the energy. A short, warm, but non-committal reply after a significant delay is key. Hey, hope you're well. I'm in the middle of something. But take care. This communicates that you received their message, you are friendly, but you are not sitting by the phone. You have your own life, your own priorities. You are not rude, but you are not eager. This creates a profound psychological shift in them. The predictable pattern of your pursuit is broken. They no longer feel the pressure of your expectation, and this creates a vacuum of curiosity. Why aren't they chasing me? What are they doing that's so important? Your actions are also a form of communication. When you are actively building the life we discussed in Key Point 2, and you are not hiding it, you are communicating your self-value. This doesn't mean bragging, but living authentically. If you go on a trip, post a picture because you're proud of the adventure, not to make them jealous. If you achieve a goal, celebrate it. You are broadcasting the story of a person who is moving forward, with or without them. This consistent action-based narrative is 1,000 times more powerful than any love letter you could write. It demonstrates resilience, independence, and high self-esteem. Finally, if and when you do have a direct interaction, your communication must be rooted in strength, not need. Instead of I miss you, I can't live without you, which is a declaration of dependency, you communicate from a place of choice and appreciation. I've always valued the connection we had. You're a remarkable person. This frames your desire for them as a conscious choice, not a desperate need. It places the value on them as a person, not on what they can do for you. This language of value and choice is the only language that can penetrate the walls of an avoidant heart, because it speaks to their deepest desire to be loved for who they are, without being asked to sacrifice their autonomy to earn it. The dynamic with an avoidant often triggers an anxious, preoccupied attachment style in the partner. Your identity becomes wrapped up in the role of the chaser, the fixer, the one who loves more. This is a painful and powerless identity. It is rooted in a core belief that you are not enough as you are, and that you must earn love through effort, sacrifice, and relentless pursuit. To break this cycle, you must undergo a fundamental identity shift. You must kill the needy version of yourself and resurrect the nurturing and desired version. This is not about changing for them. It is about coming home to the most powerful, whole, and attractive version of who you truly are. This begins with a deep audit of your core beliefs. You must uncover the hidden scripts running your life. Do you believe on some level that you are unlovable, that you must work hard to keep people from leaving, that conflict is dangerous? These beliefs are the roots of your needy behavior. You must challenge them with evidence to the contrary. Make a list of all your strengths, your accomplishments, the people who love you, the times you have been resilient. Read this list every single day. You are actively rewriting the story of who you are. Next, you must change your self-talk. The voice in your head that says, "They're pulling away because you're not good enough," must be replaced with a new, empowering voice. "I am a catch. I am whole and complete. Their behavior is about their own journey, not my worth. I am worthy of a love that is secure and consistent." This is not affirmations. This is a command you give to your spirit. Furthermore, you must start acting as if. How would a highly valued, deeply desired person carry themselves? How would they walk into a room? How would they speak? How would they spend their time? Embody that person now. Stand tall. Make eye contact. Speak with conviction. Prioritize your needs. This fake it till you make it approach is neurologically sound. You are creating new neural pathways through your actions. You are telling your brain, this is who we are now. As you do this, your focus shifts from external validation to internal nurturing. Instead of asking, do they want me? You start asking, what do I need to feel nourished, strong, and at peace today? This could mean preparing a healthy meal, getting a full night's sleep, setting a firm boundary with a draining friend, or taking a mental health day. You become the primary source of your own comfort and validation. This transformation from a state of need to a state of self-nurturing is the most attractive quality a human can possess. When you are nurturing yourself, you are not draining others. You become a source of strength, not a sinkhole of need. This is the identity of the person the avoidant is drawn to, not the person who is desperate for them, but the person who is so complete in themselves that their love becomes a gift, not a demand. You become the rock in their shifting sands, and that is an identity they will move mountains to be near. After you have done the profound inner work, after you have built your magnificent life and solidified your new identity, there is a very high probability that they will feel the shift in the energetic field and will attempt to reapproach. This is the moment of truth. This is where all your progress is tested. How you handle this reapproach will determine whether you fall back into the old, painful dynamic or step into a new, empowered chapter. Your response must be a masterclass in calm, confident, and conditional engagement. The worst thing you can do is to throw open the doors and welcome them back as if the past never happened, showering them with relief and affection. This tells them that there were no consequences for their withdrawal, that your boundaries are flexible, and that they can come and go as they please. You must be a gatekeeper, not a welcome mat. When they reach out, whether through a simple text or a request to talk, your internal state must remain the eye of the hurricane. Do not react with frantic excitement. Pause. Breathe. Remember your worth. Your initial response should be warm, but brief and non-committal. Good to hear from you. My week is pretty full, but I could maybe catch up for a quick coffee on Thursday. You are immediately setting a frame. You are a busy, valuable person with a full life, and they are being granted a small window of your time. This is not a game. It is a demonstration of your new reality. When you do meet or talk, you must hold a powerful presence. Let them do most of the talking. Be a great listener. Be genuinely curious about what they've been up to, but do not interrogate them about the silence. Your energy should be one of a happy, successful person catching up with an old acquaintance. Share a little about the exciting things you've been doing, but keep it light and positive. You are showing, not telling, about the new you. The most critical part of this interaction is to observe their actions, not just listen to their words. Are they offering a genuine, heartfelt explanation or apology for their distance? Or are they giving vague excuses? Are they making a consistent effort to reconnect? Or is this a one-off breadcrumb? You must be a detective of effort. If they are not demonstrating, through sustained action, that they are willing to meet you in a new, healthier dynamic, then you must be prepared to gracefully disengage. This might mean ending the conversation with, "It was really nice seeing you. I've got to run," and then returning to your fabulous life without looking back. If they are showing genuine, consistent effort, then, and only then, can you slowly begin to allow them back in. But you must set a new standard from the beginning. You can have a calm, confident conversation about needs. I've come to understand that I thrive with clear and consistent communication. That's really important for me. In any close connection, you are not attacking them for the past. You are stating a non-negotiable standard for your future. How they respond to this will tell you everything you need to know. If they respect it and step up, you have the potential for a new beginning. If they get defensive or withdraw again, you have your answer, and you can let them go with the peace of knowing you operated from your highest self. You are no longer waiting for them to choose you. You are now in the powerful position of choosing whether or not they are worthy of the person you have become. This journey we've outlined is not a manipulative trick to win back a lost love. It is a sacred pilgrimage back to yourself. It is about realizing that the intense pain of their absence was a wake-up call from the universe, a forceful nudge to stop outsourcing your sense of worth, happiness, and completeness to another fallible human being. The avoidant person in your life served as a mirror, reflecting back the parts of you that were begging for healing, the anxiety, the fear of abandonment, the belief that you are not enough on your own. By choosing to do this work, you are not just changing a relationship dynamic, you are fundamentally altering the trajectory of your entire life. You have learned that true power does not lie in control, in blocking, or enforcing outcomes. It lies in the profound and often paradoxical strength of letting go. It lies in mastering the storm within you, so that no external event can ever again shipwreck your soul. By becoming the eye of your own hurricane, you emit a frequency of peace and stability that is the only antidote to the avoidance core fear. You become a safe harbor, not a threatening storm, and in that safety, the possibility of genuine connection can finally begin to grow. You have discovered that the most magnetic force on this planet is a human being who is fully, joyfully, and unapologetically immersed in the adventure of their own life. When you stop making someone else the center of your universe and instead build a cosmos of passion, purpose, and connection around yourself, you become a gravitational pull. You stop being a question and become an answer. You are no longer saying, "Please complete me," but instead, "I am complete and I invite you to share in this radiance." This path demands everything of you. It demands courage to face your deepest fears, discipline to maintain your new practices, and unwavering faith in your own worth. There will be days you stumble, days the old anxiety creeps back in, and that is okay. The goal is not perfection, it is progression. Every time you choose your own wholeness over the desperation for their attention, you are driving a stake into the ground and declaring your sovereignty. So remember this, whether they come back or not is ultimately secondary. The primary victory, the transformation that can never be taken from you, is the reclamation of you. You will have forged an identity that is not dependent on anyone's presence or absence. You will have built a life that is too beautiful to sacrifice for crumbs of love. And from that place of unshakable strength and abundance, you will either attract back a healed and ready partner, or you will be so full of life that you will effortlessly attract a love that is secure, consistent, and worthy of the magnificent person you have become. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for having the courage to be here, to read these words, and to confront the pain that has brought you to this moment. Your willingness to seek a different way is the first and most powerful step on this journey. I believe in you. I believe in your capacity to heal, to grow, and to become the architect of a life filled with love and passion, starting with the love you have for yourself. Now, go out there and claim it. Take care, be well, and live with your whole heart. Goodbye.